You probably think your sleep is bad because of your phone. Maybe stress, maybe Netflix, maybe too much coffee. But here's the thing. People in the 1800s, working 12-hour days in brutal conditions, slept like babies. And I mean, actually slept. What did they know that we forgot? Now, this isn't just about candles versus light bulbs. What we're going to find here runs deeper than you'd expect. We're talking about how the entire human body got rewired in about a century, and why your great-great-grandmother would probably look at your sleep schedule and think you'd lost your mind. So in the 1700s, most people didn't sleep the way you do now. Not even close. They had what historians call segmented sleep, or biphasic sleep. You'd go to bed when it got dark, around 8 or 9, sleep for about 4 hours, then you'd wake up naturally, not from an alarm, not from anxiety, just wake up. And this part is wild. People didn't panic. They expected it. This midnight wake-up was called a watch, or sometimes just first waking. You'd lie there in the dark for an hour. Maybe two. Some people prayed, some had sex, some just sat with their thoughts. Then you'd drift back to sleep until dawn. 2 separate chunks of sleep. This was normal for thousands of years. There are records from everywhere. England, France, Africa, Japan. Legal depositions mention first sleep and second sleep like it's the most obvious thing in the world. One doctor in the 1500s even wrote that the best time to conceive a child was during the watch, because both people were rested from first sleep. Not a fringe idea, common knowledge. But then something happened, and it happened fast. Street lamps started showing up in major cities in the late 1600s, early 1700s. At first, just oil lamps, nothing crazy, but they changed something fundamental. The night stopped being this impenetrable black wall. You could walk around, see where you were going. Suddenly, nighttime became usable. Coffee houses stayed open later, theaters, concerts, social life stretched into the evening, and people's sleep started shifting. Not because anyone decided to change it. It just drifted. By the time you get to the 1800s, gaslight is everywhere in cities, way brighter than candles or oil lamps. Now, we're talking about a real shift. Factory owners loved it because they could run night shifts. Workers hated it because, well, they had to work night shifts. But either way, the rhythm was breaking. The old pattern, wake up once in the middle of the night and chill for a bit, started to feel weird, inefficient, something to fix. Medical journals from the 1800s start calling middle of the night waking a disorder, a problem, something that needed a cure, which is insane if you think about it. For most of human history, waking up at 2 a.m. was normal. Then, in the span of about 100 years, it became insomnia, and here's where it gets darker. Without electric lights, your brain knew what to do. When the sun went down, your body started producing melatonin. That's the chemical that makes you sleepy. It's triggered by darkness, pale darkness. Not the glow of a screen or a street lamp through your window. Deep, total darkness. And melatonin didn't just make you drowsy. It regulated your entire system. Body temperature, immune function, even your hunger signals. Everything syncs to the natural light-dark cycle. But electric lights screwed with that because your brain can't tell the difference between sunlight and a light bulb. It's all just light. So when you're sitting under bright lights at 10 p.m., your brain thinks it's still daytime. Melatonin production drops, your circadian rhythm gets confused, and you end up lying in bed, wired, wondering why you can't fall asleep. People before electricity didn't have that problem. When it got dark, it stayed dark. Sure, they had candles, but candlelight is weak, flickering, warm-toned. It doesn't suppress melatonin the way a 6-watcher bulb does, let alone an LED screen. So their bodies just followed the natural rhythm. No fight, no effort. And the temperature thing matters more than you'd think. In the winter houses were cold, like actually cold. No central heating. You'd pile on blankets, maybe share a bed with family members just to stay warm. But that cold air, it helped you sleep. Your core body temperature drops when you sleep. That's part of the process. When your bedroom is freezing, that temperature drop happens faster, easier, you fall asleep quicker, and stay asleep longer. These days, Most people keep their bedrooms at like 68, 70 degrees, comfortable, but not optimal. Your body wants it colder. It's trying to cool down, and you're fighting it with climate control. Summer was different, obviously. No air conditioning, just heat. And yeah, that sucked. People would sleep outside sometimes, on porches or rooftops. But even then, they adapted. They'd sleep in lighter clothes, drink water, deal with it. And their bodies adjusted over time. You build tolerance. We don't anymore because we don't have to. We just crank the AC and call it a day. There's also this thing nobody talks about, silence. Real silence. Before electricity, once the sun went down, things got quiet. New traffic, no refrigerators humming, no neighbors' TVs bleeding through the walls. Just wind, maybe some crickets, animals in the distance. That kind of quiet doesn't exist anymore. Not in most places. And your brain needs quiet to fully shut down. Even low-level noise, the kind you don't consciously notice, keeps part of your brain on alert. You're not in danger, obviously, but your nervous system doesn't know that. It hears noise, it stays partially active just in kazi, so you never fully relax. People in the 1800s didn't have that problem. When it was time to sleep, the world went silent. No decision to make. No white noise machine needed. The work schedules were brutal, don't get me wrong. Farmers worked sun up to sundown. Factory workers, same thing, sometimes worse. But the work was physical, exhausting. And when you're that tired, you sleep hard. There's no tossing and turning when you've been hauling equipment or working a loom for 14 hours. Your body just shuts off. Now compare that to modern work. You sit at a desk, stare at a screen, your body barely moves, but your brain is fried. Mental exhaustion doesn't always translate to physical tiredness. So you're wired and tired at the same time. It's the worst combination. Your mind is too active to sleep, but your body's too sedentary to signal that it needs rest. Pre-electricity workers didn't have that split. When they were done fully. Here's something that surprised me. People back then weren't stressed about sleep the way we are. They didn't track it. No apps, no sleep scores, no articles about sleep hygiene. You just went to bed, and if you woke up in the middle of the night, so what? That was normal. You didn't spiral into anxiety about it, didn't check the clock, didn't calculate how many hours you had left. You just existed in the dark for a while, then went back to sleep. Now we obsess. 8 hours. That's the magic number, right? Except it's not universal. Some people need more, some need less. And even that 8-hour thing is a modern invention. The idea that you need one continuous block of sleep that only became standard in the industrial age when factory schedules demanded it. Before that, sleep was flexible, segmented, natural, and another thing, no caffeine after lunch. Or, honestly, not much caffeine at all. Coffee existed, sure, but it wasn't everywhere. Most people drank water, milk, beer, weak beer, but still. The point is they weren't mainlining stimulants all day and then wondering why they couldn't wind down at night. We dose ourselves with coffee, energy drinks, soda, basically keeping our nervous system jacked up for 16 hours straight, then expected to flip a switch and relax. Doesn't work that way. The sun controlled everything. That's really what it comes down to. You woke up with the sun, worked while it was light, ate when you were hungry, slept when it got dark. Your body didn't have to guess what time it was or what it should be doing. The signals were clear, consistent, every single day. We've broken that completely. You can wake up at noon if you want, work at 3 a.m., eat breakfast at dinner time. Your body has no idea what's happening. It's just trying to keep up with the chaos you're throwing at it, and sleep suffers because of it. Look, I'm not saying we should all go live in cabins and throw away our phones. That's not realistic. But maybe we underestimated what we lost when we killed the dark. When we made night into just another version of day. We gained control, sure, freedom, flexibility, but we also lost the rhythm, the natural cues, the simplicity of just letting your body do what it evolved to do for hundreds of thousands of years. People before electricity didn't sleep better because they were healthier or smarter or had some secret technique. They slept better because they had no choice. The world went dark, and they went dark with it. Simple as that. So next time you're lying awake at 2 a.m., scrolling through your phone, wondering what's wrong with you, maybe nothing's wrong with you. Maybe we just built a world that makes sleep harder than it needs to be. And maybe, just maybe, your body's still trying to follow a rhythm that doesn't exist anymore. Something to think about. If you can't sleep tonight, anyway,